Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Sandra and I am the Arthritic Artisan. So prepare to either be amazed or bored completely out of your mind as we make a Father's Day catch-all tray. Now I made this one for my husband for Father's Day to hold his guitar picks and whatnot. So if you're ready to get started, I'm ready. Let's go. We're going to start by taking one of these trays from Dollar Tree, and there is the UPC code for it if you want to pick one up. Then we're going to use some leather I've got, or you can use some faux leather or vinyl or fabric, whatever you want. Some chalk paint of your choice. I end up mixing my own colors because I have a specific color that I'm going for. I also end up changing the leather halfway through because I was going for a specific look and this leather just didn't do it for me. We're going to start by taking the inside measurements of the tray. When you measure the width on both ends because these trays are not cut square. Once you've measured twice or 3 times in my case, simply cut it out of the material that you're using. Next, we're going to want to make sure that it fits before we add any glue, and we are going to be gluing this down. I use E6000 to glue it down. I would have used a leather glue, but I'm out of leather glue, so I did use E6000. Before we glue the leather to the bottom of the tray, we're going to paint the tray. And as I mentioned, I mixed my own paint colors, so I don't have a paint color to give you. But this is where you come in and you add your own wonderful decorative touches to this. You use any paint color that you want. I kind of wanted it to look like it had been through the wringer and back. So I did several different coats of paint, chipped it off, made it look like it was just rough and a little weathered. Once I had it completely painted with a base coat, I took a secondary color and went all over this piece. And when it was still wet, I took a piece of scrap leather that had some texture to it and I pressed it into the paint just to get that paint to raise up a little bit here and there. The bottom of the tray doesn't matter so much because we are going to cover that with a leather. Next, I took a third color and I went over the whole thing. Then I just took some paper towels and wiped off most of the paint. And what that did is it got down into the grooves of that texture that we just added with that piece of leather. Here's where I switch the leather up on you. I wanted this print. It just is much better. I liked it so much better. So we're going to cut this out and use this instead of that other piece. Plus this was more soft and supple and easier to manipulate. After I made sure that it fit inside, we're going to take some E6000 and I'm putting some generous beads down. After you have some beads of E6000, we're just going to simply lay this piece of leather down into the tray. And once you have that step done, you're going to get a squeegee or a credit card or anything stiff. And we're going to start removing all the air bubbles out from underneath this piece of leather. And also, this is going to help start distributing the glue underneath evenly throughout. This is going to help make sure that you have good adhesion. Once I've given that glue a little bit of time to set up, I have some metal corner pieces I'm adding just for a decorative touch. I'm not exactly sure what they're called, but I can put a link in the description box below where I got these. What I do with these, I don't know. You guys are going to probably think that I'm out of my mind when you see what I go through to get these on. I'm starting with some E6000 on the edges of the tray and then on the inside of the metal corner pieces where it's going to touch the side of the tray where the two edges come together. Now this is where insanity takes over. These come with the tiniest of tiny little nails. And yes, I am OCD and I wanted those holes filled in, so I did put the nails in. I'm not going to say that it was easy. I did not have a drill bit that was small enough to make a starter hole. So I have a clay working tool and I just pushed that in there a little bit. And on the bottom part where I'm hammering it in, it was rather easy and I didn't have to cut the nail because it went into the long side of the wood. I don't know if that makes sense or not. But when I was attaching it on the top, the nail was too long and it would have poked out the edge of the wood. So I cut that nail in half, making it even smaller. I did use a pair of pliers to pick them up, and I finally got smart, I think, on the third one. And so I put them in and hammered them in. And I'm really happy that I went to that extra effort because it came out looking really nice. Even though we have leather and wood and metal and paint, I still didn't think that this tray was good enough, so I took some of these 3/4 inch wood balls, and I will also put those in the description box below, and I added those to the bottom of the tray just to raise it up a little bit. And I really think that this added a lot of character to this tray. Once you have the feet on your tray, guess what, y'all? We are done. Help me get noticed by YouTube a little bit more by telling me what you think about this quick and easy project in the comments section below, giving me a big thumbs up, hitting that subscribe button, and ringing that bell to get notified about all future videos and projects. And until next time, have a magical day.